Welcome to The Explainer. Today we are getting right into the heart of things, firing up a deep dive on a piece of equipment that is absolutely critical for so many facilities, the industrial boiler. We're going to break down exactly what makes it tick, what drives its efficiency, and most importantly, how you can maximize it.
Specifically, we're zoning in on the Firetube boiler. You know, it's so much more than just a big metal vessel. It is literally the engine of your facility. And as you're about to see, its design, the very way it's put together, has a direct, undeniable impact on your operational costs, your maintenance budget, and your overall efficiency.
And this quote from Cleaver-Brooks just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? The sticker price you pay for a boiler? That's just the very beginning. The real cost, the true, long-term investment, is what you're going to spend on fuel and maintenance over its entire lifetime.
So, here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with the fundamentals, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty, comparing key designs. From there, we'll look at how a fully integrated system really works, and we'll wrap up with some solid, actionable strategies you can use to optimize your own investment. Let's get right to it. Okay, first up, Firetube fundamentals. Let's lay a solid foundation and talk about this core technology. In the simplest possible terms, the fire is in the tubes and the water is on the outside, surrounding them. It's an elegant, effective design, and it's an absolute workhorse in countless facilities, for everything from process heating to just keeping the building warm.
Now, what's interesting is that this is the complete 100% opposite of a water tube boiler. And that one simple switch, fire in the tube versus water in the tube, it's a fundamental difference that changes absolutely everything, how they're used, how they operate, and even how you maintain them.
And here is the real money slide, the key takeaway. A modern, well-designed Firetube boiler is an absolute powerhouse of efficiency. We're talking fuel-to-steam efficiencies of over 80%. That is a massive leap from older designs and means real, significant savings on your fuel bill.
All right, now for a really critical decision point in boiler design, one that has a huge impact on maintenance and efficiency down the road, and that's the choice between a wetback and a dryback configuration.
Now, from the outside, they might look pretty similar, right? But the key difference is all on the inside. It's all about how the boiler handles that turnaround of hot combustion gases in the rear reversal chamber. This table breaks down the trade-offs perfectly. On one hand, you have the wetback design. It's really all about maximizing efficiency and cutting down on maintenance. Its chamber is jacketed in water, so it's absorbing heat directly. And big bonus, there's no refractory to inspect or replace. On the other hand, the dryback uses a refractory lining. Now that does become a maintenance item, but these designs can still be engineered for incredible performance.
So that's the textbook version. But we really want to hear from you out in the real world. For all you operators and engineers watching, what's your experience been? What are you seeing on the boiler room floor?
Go ahead and drop a comment below and let us know. Your insights honestly help the entire community learn. And hey, if you're finding this useful, a like and a share would be amazing.
So, how do all these design principles actually come together in a real-world system? Well, let's take a look at how a manufacturer like Cleaver-Brooks integrates everything into a single, complete package to just maximize performance.
The four-pass design is a perfect example of this philosophy. Instead of just letting all those valuable hot gases escape right out the stack, it forces them to travel the entire length of the boiler 4 separate times. This just maximizes the time for heat transfer, wringing out every last possible bit of energy before anything exits. And this illustrates such a critical point about these integrated systems. A super efficient pressure vessel is really only one part of the puzzle. It has to be perfectly matched with a burner, like this Profire model, that's literally engineered to work with it. That's how you get that precise, repeatable control of the air-to-fuel ratio you need for truly optimal combustion.
And the result of this total integration? It's not just high efficiency, it's also incredibly low emissions. Being able to get under 9 parts per million of NOx, well, that's a game changer, especially in today's really strict regulatory environment.
This integrated approach also opens the door to some seriously powerful upgrades. You can add things like automatic air trim to constantly fine-tune your efficiency, or a control system like the Hawk to get full connectivity and data right from your boiler room. It's all about future-proofing your investment.
Finally, let's talk about maybe the most crucial piece of this entire puzzle, the operator. So, let's look at how you can make sure your system keeps running at peak efficiency long after it's been installed.
Seriously, you can have the best designed, most advanced boiler in the world,
But without a high-performance maintenance and operation schedule, its efficiency is going to degrade over time. The technology and the operator are a team. You need both to win.
So think of this checklist as your practical takeaway. Every single item here directly impacts your fuel bill. For instance, even a paper-thin layer of soot on your tubes acts like insulation, right? It just stops heat from transferring and wastes energy. Or play and the control linkages. That means your air-to-fuel ratio is no longer precise, and that leads to inefficient combustion. These small checks prevent major losses.
So we want to leave you with this one final thought. The next time you're in your boiler room, take a fresh look at your system. After seeing all these design principles and maintenance points, ask yourself, is there hidden potential for better efficiency and reliability right here?
If you found this explainer valuable, please do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do a lot more of these deep dives into industrial technology. Thanks so much for joining us on The Explainer.